All right, so the first question is for Sam. Sam, when can we expect the down select of the landing regions?
That's a really good question. So it's probably worth pointing out that this is a really complicated topic with a number of stakeholders, including stakeholders from all of NASA's mission directorates, STMD, SOMD, ESDMD, and SMD. So it's currently a topic of ongoing discussion, and most importantly, it's not to me. So there's a lot of cooks in the kitchen. But in general, the intent is that we need to do a down select for operational reasons. It's highly desirable, and for a variety of reasons, we do need to constrain the sites because the crew can't train for 13 separate regions. It's just a physical impossibility. So our clear intent at the moment is to try to implement a selection of regions later this year. And that's probably the most specific I can give you at this point in time, because it's an iterative process and they're working closely with our hardware providers to understand the integrated performance of the system currently as we speak. I've also been multitasking off on the side. So so that's probably the best answer I can give you. But rest assured, after and just to set expectations, there probably won't be a single Artemis 3 landing site. There'll be several candidate locations, and it will be dependent on what time of year the mission is actually ready to go. But there will be other workshops, and we do intend to continue to solicit community input.
Great, thank you, Sam. All right, the next question is for Trevor. A cart is not detected in your tools chart. Are you still planning a cart for Artemis 3?
Yeah, great question. A cart is baselined as part of one of the pieces of equipment that we've asked our vendors to go off and build. So I would, sorry, it's not captured in that photo. Not all the tools of the design reference suite are captured in that photo. I would encourage people to go look at the SRD, or the systems requirements document, that is publicly available for the XEVAS contract. There's a complete list of tools in there that is what our vendor is, going off and building as part of the ongoing efforts right now. I'll also mention that, another thing that wasn't in that picture is the tool belt. And so a concept that Joel mentioned earlier, right, to be able to be most efficient with our time, EVA time on the surface, is trying to, really think through the tool and sample management and efficiencies there. The cart's part of that picture. The tool belt is part of that picture. And so that's where some of the field testing has really come in helpful to start to figure out the ConOps overall for the tool and sample management. So yes, to answer the question succinctly, though, a cart is still part of that picture.
Great, thank you, Trevor. The next question actually was for Kelsey, but Kelsey already answered it in her talk about are there open solicitations to participate in future JET exercises? And Barbara, thank you also for answering this directly in the chat. The question about future opportunities, I'll take from an SEO perspective. There are expectations for future opportunities, but they depend on test plans. And so those plans are still being formulated for next year. So I encourage you to watch for announcements through ROSES for the analog activities call. That's, as Barbara noted, that's the call. All right, Cindy, the next question is for you. Are you filming the training sessions, and can you make those videos available to so that we can develop a broader community that speaks the same language?
That's great, and I think it's great to be able to think about developing those language skills across a really broad community. We did film our lunar fundamentals, but it's crew training, and so it's for the crew members and their sensitivity for training of crew members. It doesn't. I guess there's the potential if the crew office clears to have one of the NASA photographers do some of the filming in the future. But right now, all the crew training films are internal. Having said that, we do report out at meetings our training methodology. We the training is very interactive, and so we encourage you, if we are giving a talk at LPSC or GSA or another forum, to engage us, and we can tell you more about our training.
Great. Thank you, Cindy. One last question for Kelsey. Kelsey, do you know if crew on Artemis 3 will be allowed to enter a permanently shadowed region?
Yeah, Trevor can also chime in here, but the requirement for the suit providers is that the suit needs to be able to operate in a PSR in Artemis 3 for up to 2 hours. So we are affording the opportunity to enter a PSR in Artemis 3. Trevor, anything to add there?
Great.
That could
Thanks,
work.
Kelsey. Great, thanks, Trevor. All right, and just wanted to do a quick correction. From earlier, I wanted to highlight the upcoming Artemis mapping LSSW. Those dates are the 16th and 17th of August, not the 15th, 16th. So just note that in your calendars and watch for that discussion coming up. All right. I think with that, this was a hugely successful day. I hope you all enjoyed getting all of this information. I know this was a flood of information today, but we wanted to share with you all of the exciting work that's been going on and all of the opportunities coming up for community engagement and how the engagement that you've been providing, the contributions you've been providing to date have been used internally to bring us forward to the moon. So thank you all for a great day and have a good evening.